Chapter 3. The Retired Old Man's Rhapsody. Several days after meeting Fi, I came to the Adroad continent again. I came back since I didn't get to do my exploration last time because of the troubles I had with Fia. Well, despite that, I guess I did learn some useful stuff from her. If we do meet again, I'll just think of her as a lover I left and neglected or something like that. It's ridiculous to worry now about an uncertain future because I went east last time. This time I'll try going west. It would be nice if there is just a simple village in that direction. I already got my share of elf troubles with Fia. While the east side is only flat forests, this side has a mountainous terrain. There seems to be a lot of demons, so there probably won't be any human villages. Still, I fly around while searching, yet I don't see anything. Is this also a miss? In order for my actions not to go to waste, I have to remember to do some mapping during breaks. While I'm writing on the map as I wonder where I should go next, my ears unexpectedly catch on some sound. I raise my face from the map and confirm that I'm really hearing something. However, looking around, I can't see the origin of the sound. It has a certain rhythm, and sounds like it's coming from the other side of the mountain. This can't be ignored. Hurrying, I close the map and fly towards the source of the noise. As I make a detour around the mountain, I find a solitary house built in a carved-out tree. It's pretty far, but I can see smoke coming from something that looks like a chimney. There has to be someone living there. Even so, for someone to reside in a private house in the midst of this forest, it must be fun to live this eccentrically. I could just go through the sky and land there, but it smells like trouble, so I get off at a nearby place and switch to going on foot for the rest of the way. I travel through the dense forest, then, at last, I arrive at the house down the road by following something that looks like an animal's trail. A man twice my height is chopping a tree there. The origins of the noise that led me here seems to be the sound of wood chopping. He's wearing a simple black shirt and a pair of trousers. His short hair is completely gray and a scar runs over his left eye. He's probably pretty old, but his well-trained muscles and his sharp eyes make him look like a veteran warrior. He swings his axe down in a steady way. Though it's just mere wood splitting, I think that his refined movements are beautiful. He would look better swinging a sword on a battlefield's front rather than merely cutting wood. Who's there? Stop hiding and come out. He noticed me even though I'm hiding my presence. Those muscles aren't just there for show. As I come out obediently since I don't really have a reason to hide, his threatening look settles down a little. Did you get lost or something? Nice to meet you. I am serious. I'm sorry to bother you. I accidentally found this place while taking a walk. Serious, what the hell are you saying? Are you from the demon race? I won't hold back if you're hostile. He turns his axe towards me like he's ready to hit me at any moment. I can feel bloodthirst coming from him. Wait a minute, no matter how suspicious I am, isn't he losing his temper a little too fast? I haven't done anything but talk. No, I'm normal. Well, not really, but I'm a child of the human tribe. I'm not hostile at all. I raise both of my hands and I put them in evidence to show that I'm not hostile, and he cautiously lowers his axe. Then, without saying a thing, he resumes his wood chopping, disregarding me. It's rather refreshing to meet someone that blunt. However, my coming here would all be pointless if I'm going to get ignored. Should I start the conversation from here? I'm sorry, but why do you live in such a place? Serious, I don't want to converse with an aristocrat. I don't know how you found me, but we have nothing to talk about. Leave quickly and take your bodyguard with you. I got strongly rejected and spat on. Isn't this old man misunderstanding something? I get that he hates nobles, but I don't know who he is. First of all, I should make something clear. It seems like you're misunderstanding something. I just came here by chance. I wasn't looking for you. And I'm not an aristocrat, so I don't have any bodyguard. You probably already noticed that there is no one else around besides me since you've got sharp senses. Serious, there is no one else, indeed. Boy, how did you get here? This isn't a place where a child can come by himself. Because I have some special magic. I'll say it again. I found you by accident. Serious boy, do you know me? I don't know you, but I do think that you have a lot of skill. Serious. This old man's atmosphere is different from D's. Yesterday's bandits are like trash when compared to this. Was my answer good? The old man finally stops being cautious of me. You do seem different from those foolish nobles, boy. Please don't compare me to them. It's unpleasant. Serious, ho-ho, you said it. Well, you're a guest, so I'll serve you some tea. Come with me. Speaking of aristocrats, the only one I know is my father. That's why it's just like I said to the old man, I don't want to be considered as one of them. Is he satisfied with this? The old man puts down his axe and invites me to his house. It's a handmade log house. It's made of neatly processed wood, something similar to the stuff done in my previous world. There is a desk and a chair in the middle of the room, a carpet and futons made of demon fur and a stone oven. It's quite surprising since it seems that the old man made all of these by himself. Although I am an amateur, I try to use my strength and my extra time in various ways. No, what you did here isn't something that an amateur can do. Actually, don't you think you have a talent for this? Serious, I don't like putting it as a talent. Oh well, I'm glad to be complimented anyway. I wasn't flattering him. To think that he made all of this by himself despite being isolated. This place is definitely more remote than my house. I wonder what reason he has for living here. As I sit down on a chair while pondering on my questions, the old man prepares some tea and sits in a chair facing mine. Unfortunately, there are no other drinks for children. It's fine to stop drinking it if this doesn't suit your taste. Oh, I don't mind. Serious, he pours a green liquid into a wooden cup for me. I don't sense anything suspicious in it even after smelling it, but the smell seems familiar. The old man drinks it while gurgling, so I take a breath and do the same even though it's still steamy. Delicious. Serious, huh? You understand this taste? I understand it. The bitterness that stays in the throat and the heat that numbs the tongue. Isn't it most suitable after a meal? Serious, it's a little heavy, but there is no doubt. This is Japanese tea, isn't it? Because I drank it quickly, I nearly burned myself, but it has a nostalgic taste. The old man becomes more and more cheerful from seeing my reactions. You understand, don't you, boy? For a child to understand the deliciousness, you're quite a smart fellow. Could you allow me to take some of this with me? I'd also like to know the raw ingredients if you don't mind. Serious, alright, I'll give you some later. Such a generous old man. It was worth coming here if only for this. No one else in this country gets it. Not understanding something like this, they're just unworthy of it. Exactly. By the way, may I ask for your name? Serious, he lives alone in this kind of place. He could also be a criminal, but at least I know that he's not a person who'd try to poison me. I'm just someone who wants to learn various things. I never change my attitude no matter who I talk to. Lior. Are you familiar with the name Lior? It heard it somewhere. Serious, if I remember correctly, it appeared in a book. The source. Alberto's travel diary. The great swordsman who cuts everything down and turns it to ashes with his large sword of fire, said to come from the strongest family. Capable of crushing a rock with one hit of his mighty sword, which he even used to slay a dragon, according to the rumors. All the people call him by the same name, that is Gusarugi Lior. Could it be that you're Gusarugi Lior? Serious, that's an old story. I'm just a retired old man now. Lior, oh, I thought he seemed strong, but I didn't think he was that high tier. I want to fight him by all means. However, as powerful as he may be, I can't feel any will to fight from him. He released some killing intent when he thought I was a suspicious person, but he went back to being a simple retired old man as soon as he figured that I was harmless. There might be a reason for that, which involves his hate for aristocrats. You don't look like someone in his retirement days to me. If it's alright, can you tell me the reason behind your situation? Serious, HMPH, you impudent boy. Well, I don't have anything else to do, so I'll tell you, but it's a long story. Leor, he pours a second helping of tea into our respective cups and gradually starts talking. I always liked training. I trained and trained. I defeated various opponents and, before I knew it, I got labeled as the strongest. I also got labeled as Master Swordsman and Strong Flame, but I didn't really care for these trivial titles. However, after becoming the strongest, I couldn't find an opponent to match me. Then an idea came to me like a flash. Seeing how things were, I could just train someone and turn him into an opponent capable to face me. Therefore I took some pupils. I easily managed to gather a lot of disciples at the center of the country after declaring openly that I was looking for one. Leor, he's the strongest after all. He'd likely be able to gather as many disciples as he wants even after advertising for just a moment. However, I'd say that most of the proposals I received were from aristocrats who wanted to show off as my pupils. Though the guys I taught were hungry for strength, they were just gutless idiots. Whenever a situation got tough, they'd run away, and if I didn't go easy enough on them, they'd find it unacceptable and start whining. I have even been reported several times to the king. There was no end to those idiots' proposals that I turned down. Since it couldn't be helped, I decided to look by myself for suitable apprentices that I could eventually fight eye-to-eye with. I found a few fitting pupils, but they were all natives of the slums and commoners, which made those dumb aristocrats make a commotion. From their point of view, I neglected them even though their position was better as noble, so they started whining again, yet it felt pretty good this time. However, several of the nobles got jealous and envious and aimed for the right time when I was absent to surround and attack my disciples, preventing them of even swinging their swords. Though the pupils had some good skills, one of them ended up dying. In a fit of rage, I looked for those nobles and chopped off the arms of the fools and humiliated them in front of the king and the other aristocrats. After that, things just got ridiculous, so I retired here. I didn't want to get involved with the aristocrats anymore. Leor, after finishing the long explanation, the old man quenches his thirst with some tea. I now understand well the reason behind his hate for nobles and his lack of vigor. However, for now, I'll just give him my thoughts on that. So half-hearted. Serious, come again, Leor. Your revenge against the nobles was too half-hearted. What you did to those aristocrats only hindered the country. You should have destroyed their family name and honor instead. Serious, Leor, you were reported to the king several times before, right? This whole thing is just a consequence of that. You didn't try to justify yourself properly and you carelessly took risks instead, didn't you? Just get too excited. Serious, certainly so. However, it would have been useless to justify myself because there were too many aristocrats blaming me. It's my first time being told that I acted half-heartedly. Leor, a student shouldn't die before his teacher. That's why it's very important to improve the pupil's environment and make it suitable. Serious, though it's just my opinion, I think that creating an appropriate training environment is also the teacher's duty. The aristocrats are certainly bad, but the old man who ignored them and looked down on them is bad as well. He didn't just have to guide his students, he also had to watch their back while they were still inexperienced. That applies even more when there are only a few of them. As a former teacher, it should be alright for me to make a sermon or two, right? HMPH, that's difficult to hear. You're just a boy, how would you understand, Leor? I certainly am a child. Still, I'm aiming to become a teacher. You should admit your mistakes as the one standing on top. Serious, you want to try to become a teacher at your age? Though you have some wonderful ambition, you're not likely to become one with your half-baked ideas, Leor. Then, maybe you should give it a try yourself. Serious, I provoke him while letting out a small overpowering feeling. Even I think that I'm being too blunt, but the old man squints his eyes and his mouth gets just slightly distorted. Good, I knew that you weren't an ordinary fellow. You're finally showing your true colors, Leor. Somehow, there is a fight-like atmosphere and the old man is fired up now. Excellent. Let's have him show me the abilities of the one called the strongest. After leaving the house, we're now facing each other with wooden swords in our hands. Putting aside the old man's sword, the other seemed to be suited for children and probably belonged to the dead apprentice. Though it looks like it hasn't been used in a long time, he probably cherishes it because it has been treated with great care. I think that it's likely to break if it's used for a serious fight, but the material of this wooden sword seems very strong and best suited for training nonetheless. The grandpa is beaming with confidence and not worrying at all. Though he's an old man, he's happily doing practice swings to warm up. The opponent I'm facing this time is like a demon. I'm glad to be able to fight against such a person. I actually craved for meeting someone like that, so there is no way I'm letting this old man retire. If you hit me even once, it's your win, boy. But don't worry, I'll hold back. Leor, why, thanks. But this handicap you're giving me will be your downfall. Serious, cut it out, boy. Show me with actions, not words, Leor. Well, now that my plan is a success, I don't need to badmouth him to provoke him anymore. However, I didn't plan the rest of this. What should I do? I'll just try to make the first move for now. I slowly walk toward him, then when I get 2 steps away from the old man, I focus all the power of my upper body to my feet and I dash at him. From a slow motion to a fast one, although he's surprised, the old man responds to the unexpected attack and moves over instantly. As expected of the one titled as the strongest, he easily managed to read and dodge my move and trajectory. While he dodges, I slash the wooden sword down from his shoulder with my right hand, and I go aside. I then take some distance, and as we pass each other by the side, I notice that the left hand I hit him on is shaking. Say, what if this was actually a knife? Serious, it would have been a fatal injury on a battlefield. My retirement made me grow dull. How shameful of me, Leor. He finally notices his negligence and smiles wryly while shaking his head. This should make things get serious. Looking at the old man, a ferocious smile appears on his face and his muscles start inflating. I'm sorry. Yet, I'm thankful as well, boy. My heart almost got rotten. Woo-ah, Leor. The shock wave made by his roar shakes all the trees around. Hey, wait, isn't that too big of a change? He was just a lazy retired man a few minutes ago. Yet now, the strong pressure resulting from him just standing there is making all the demons and animals in the area run away in all directions. This tension reminds me of the training with my teacher. I want to cry every time I recall the Kumite and that help, but I'll put that aside for now. The preparations are complete. The old man finally got serious. From here on we'll have a real fight. I've never seen this stance before. What school is it from, Leor? The old man is holding his sword vertically pointing upright. It's quite similar to the style called Jigen Ryu from my previous life. The Jigen Ryu style is said to allow one to cut anything with a single blow. I think that it really fits this old man. It's not from any school in particular, it's self-taught. Serious. As for me, I'm hiding one hand behind my back and I'm holding my sword with the other, a peculiar stance that protects the body. Though I was trained by teacher, she didn't follow any school. However, she shined by nothing but her experience and changed her moves to suit each case. A style that changes depending on the situation. It's a style that is quite convenient for me. Is that so? In that case, from here on, let's go at it, boy. Leor. The old man dashes at me by stepping only his tendons on the ground, and I activate my boost in order to fast Guasarouge. Thus, a switch got turned on.